Good day and welcome to Mike's Diabetes World. It's a beautiful day here in Vancouver, or Burnaby, BC. And I thought I'd get out and do my little chat out on the road with the trails behind my house. Anyway, today on Mike's Diabetes World, I want to discuss lows. Now, what I had today was what one might consider to be a close to severe low blood sugar. And there's been a number of research investigations on low blood sugars in type 2s. But they didn't really mention type 1s. And I thought we could go over and discuss the differences, or not the differences, what could happen to you with low blood sugar. Now, first of all, if you're having a severe low, you could go unconscious. You could end up having a seizure, which any sort of seizure can't be good for the brain. And I'm thinking, it's been a while since I've had a seizure, or what I've known of. But the easy way to tell if you've had a seizure or not is basically you've soiled yourself. And I can remember for years when I go low, my body would start twitching. My arms and my legs would go berserk and didn't really work as well. I tried to walk to get sugar, couldn't do that, and I ended up a lot of times being sent via the ambulance to the hospital. Now, what causes? Now, I would talk a bit here that I am a brittle diabetic. And being a brittle diabetic doesn't allow me time to sit there and go, am I low? Am I not low? If you still feel any symptoms of you going low, you need to test your blood sugars. Oh my God. By testing your blood sugars, you would be able to tell for certain if you are low, or, I don't know, maybe you haven't eaten and you're just a little shaky. But getting to understand your body and what's low. I know personally, for myself, if I start feeling low, well, pump, it is starting to be an emergency for me. And when that happens, you need to get sugar into your system. You don't want any brain damage. Now, can you die from a low blood sugar? Well, you can. You can also have brain damage. And, there's been signs of people with diabetes getting to dementia. So again, it goes back to trying to keep your blood sugars pretty sensible. And if you want to constantly play around with your insulin, again, I'm going to have to go back, do it with the advice of your doctor. I know excuse me, They used to say to me, well, you can change your insulin, but don't change it every single day, all the time, because then you get into a cycle. You don't know what the insulin is doing for you, what it stopped doing for you. If you're going low, you're going to have a difficult time figuring out where that low has come from. Like, what dose is actually causing it. Now, I'll give you the positive, or not the positive, but the backup that this was back in the day when you were given a long acting and a short acting. I think it would be still easier on blood sugar, the pump and everything today, but it still can't be good for your body. Your body goes through a lot when you have a low blood sugar. People have come up hurting themselves more when they're unconscious. I know for my fact for myself, I have a tendency to roll out of the bed onto the floor. And the fire department or the ambulance, we have to constantly worry about how they're going to get me up back into the bed. And it's no fun. And growing up, there were times when I'd just be goofy. Are you low? Or are you high? And did you take too much insulin? What have you done to cause this? Wasn't until my mid-20s that I started to realize that it wasn't always what I did. Oops, sorry. Bumps here. But it could also be my body, just how my body reacts to things. Now, right now, there are days where my body acts like a regular, well, we'll say regular diabetic, but the one that follows the correct, not follows the correct dose, but acts how it should be if I had taken that amount of insulin. But you don't want to be in that condition where you don't know what your body's going to do. There are days where I take the same amount of insulin, eat the same meals, and they go all over the place. And that's definitely not a good thing to do. Whether your body is super high or super low, it's not a good thing. And again, the best is to be on the straight and narrow. Now, there is a condition, and I believe you can email me if you correct me if I'm wrong on this, is that you can get hypoglycaemia unawareness, and you don't feel whether you're going high or low. And that's what I have. I don't know. I could sit here and be chatting with you, and all of a sudden my blood sugars drop. Now, I know just from experience, unfortunately, that if my blood sugar is in a low state that if I start feeling any symptoms like sweating or heart palpitations, that I know I'm about ready to pass out. And it's been proven, unfortunately. You want to make sure that you take care of your body, and I believe this comes from constantly having low blood sugars that your body reacts. And don't let it get that far. I would constantly be feeling low as a young man and be saying, oh, I'm low. And everyone would go, yeah, right. Now I was. And I don't know if treating it would have done any quicker, but we needed to take care. And now I carry sweets on me. Before I go out, and for these walks on a nice day, I do blood sugar and see where my blood sugar was. My blood sugar was 12.4 before coming out here, which a lot of you are probably going, oh my God, oh, well, that's getting high. But, you know, if I was hanging around at a blood sugar where people normally are, I could drop quite quickly. And my endocrinologist knows about this, and we follow about it. Now, the interesting thing with being a brittle diabetic, my hemoglobin A1C is usually fairly good, usually between 6 and 6.4. And what do you have to... Sorry, I just got sprayed. But sorry about that. Keeping your blood sugars low could be just as detrimental. Treat when need be, but don't worry about always being perfect. If your blood sugar's higher, treat. If you're going low, you know, you could give your insulin a bit later. But follow your plan. I've talked about getting a plan with your doctors. And so often they've worked. They've saved me a few times. And you know what? I'm glad it did. Things got so much better when learning how to control yourself. And allowing yourself the knowledge of when you're low, what's going to happen, or when you're high, what's going to happen, and going through each day, doing exactly what you're meant to do. It can only help stop from having all these highs and lows before you can turn into a brittle diabetic, but not a brittle diabetic just because you don't take care of yourself doesn't turn you into a brittle diabetic. For myself, it's just my body. But for many people, it's brought on from people not taking care of themselves. So do the smart thing and take care of yourself. I'm not going to sit here and tell you younger diabetics, oh, well, you have to take care of yourself or you'll lose a foot, or you're not allowed to have any sweets. Well, type 1, you know what? Occasionally you can treat yourself and have something sweet. But watch your carbs, take the insulin that's appropriate for you, and you know what? You'll work through it just fine. But don't play around with insulin. Insulin can be your friend, but it can also be detrimental. So take care. Talk to you later. Bye now.